Imagine standing in a crowded room where every whisper feels like a thunderclap. That's exactly how Prince Harry must have felt when shocking whispers about Meghan's past suddenly came roaring back into the spotlight. One revelation after another, the palace halls seemed to vibrate with gasps, as if history itself were trying to tear open old wounds. And at the center of it all, Meghan Markle, tears running down her face, as an old friend from Harry's circle resurfaced with stories no one expected to hear. Was this gossip, revenge, or an inconvenient truth that had been buried for too long? Whatever it was, it left Harry pale, Meghan shattered, and the world leaning in closer than ever before. The friend who spoke too loudly. Tom Inskip wasn't just another acquaintance in Harry's circle. For years, he was one of those names insiders dropped casually. The kind of friend who had seen Harry through his wild youth, reckless adventures, and private struggles. But when Tom decided to open his mouth about Meghan, eyebrows lifted, jaws dropped, and suddenly the royal fairy tale didn't look so magical anymore. Imagine hearing from someone who knows your spouse well, not as the polished royal they've become, but as the person they were before the cameras, before the crowns, before the scrutiny. That's exactly what made Tom's comments so explosive. He wasn't a stranger. He was someone Harry trusted. And trust, once broken, is nearly impossible to glue back together. But what exactly did Tom say that had Meghan wiping away tears in private? Allegations that rocked the palace. It wasn't just a casual remark. It was a storm. Rumors resurfaced about Meghan's past, stories about glamour, luxury yachts, and a lifestyle that looked worlds apart from her current royal image. For Meghan, who has fought tirelessly to craft a narrative of resilience, independence, and hard-earned success, these allegations cut deeper than a blade. The whispers painted her as someone who had reinvented herself completely, a Hollywood actress turned duchess with secrets she'd rather leave in the past. But is that really so shocking? Don't we all have chapters in our lives we'd rather rewrite? The real sting wasn't in whether the rumors were true or exaggerated. It was that they were delivered publicly, in a way that humiliated Meghan and put Harry in an impossible position. Defend his wife and clash with a lifelong friend, or stay silent and watch Meghan crumble under the weight of judgment. Meghan in tears. The breaking point. Witnesses described Meghan's emotional reaction in vivid detail. The woman who had faced tabloids, lawsuits, and relentless media hounding broke down this time not at the hands of strangers, but because of words from someone close to her husband. It's easy to roll our eyes at celebrity gossip, but think about it. Have you ever had an old friend bring up an embarrassing story from your past at the worst possible moment? Multiply that by 1,000, add a royal title, and throw in millions of people dissecting your every tear. Suddenly, Meghan's pain doesn't just look relatable, it looks unbearable. And for Harry, seeing his wife unravel under the weight of someone else's words may have been one of the hardest trials of his royal life. After all, wasn't his mission always to protect her from exactly this? Harry caught between loyalty and love. This is where things get tricky. Harry has always carried a reputation as fiercely loyal to his friends, but equally determined to defend Meghan against anyone who tried to tear her down. Now, with Tom Inskip's revelations swirling, those two worlds collided in the worst way possible. Does loyalty to a friend outweigh loyalty to your spouse? For most of us, the answer is obvious: your partner comes first. But in royal circles, where every gesture is dissected and alliances matter more than we imagine, the choice isn't so black and white. Harry's silence on the matter has only added fuel to the fire. Some interpret it as dignified restraint. Others see it as weakness. But what if his silence is really just the pause before an even bigger storm? Lessons hiding in the drama. Beyond the glitz and headlines, there's a lesson here for everyone. Meghan's tears and Harry's dilemma remind us that your past doesn't define you. People change, evolve, and reinvent themselves, and that's not something to be ashamed of. Friendships can turn fragile. Even decades of trust can collapse when private conversations spill into public arenas. Communication matters. If Harry and Meghan are to weather this storm, their greatest weapon won't be silence, but open, vulnerable conversation. Isn't it interesting how the problems of royals mirror our own? just magnified through the lens of wealth, power, and relentless publicity? Strip away the palaces and the press, and you're left with two people navigating trust, love, and betrayal, just like the rest of us. The bigger picture. So where does this leave Harry and Meghan? Stronger than ever if they choose to be. Because every marriage is tested, and sometimes the trials that feel unbearable are the very ones that forge unshakable bonds. For the world watching, though, the fascination isn't about whether the rumors are true. It's about seeing how the couple responds. Will Harry publicly rebuke his old friend? Will Meghan reclaim the narrative yet again, turning pain into power? Or will silence swallow them both? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The world will keep watching. Final thoughts. At the end of the day, this isn't just about Meghan's tears or Harry's dilemma. It's about the universal struggle of balancing who we were, who we are, and who we want to become. It's about protecting the people we love, even when the voices around us try to tear them down. And it's about finding the courage to stand tall in the storm, even when it feels easier to collapse. So, what do you think? Was Tom's revelation a betrayal? Or was he simply speaking a truth Meghan hoped would stay buried? And more importantly, if you were in Harry's shoes, what would you do? Your voice matters here. Drop your thoughts below, share the story with someone who loves a good royal debate, and let's keep the conversation alive. After all, the drama may belong to the royals, but the lessons, those belong to all of us.